Hi, my name is Amanda Rocha. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney in California, and today I want to answer the question, how do you fund your trust? Before I get into that, I'm going to give you my contact information in case you have any questions. You can find me on my website at www.amandarocalaw.com. You can comment down below if this platform allows you to do that, or you can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. The reason I want to talk to you about this is because every single client that I have has the same questions. What does it mean to fund your trust? And how do I actually do it? Now, part of my services when I give a client a flat fee product is that I help them at least fund their trust with one item, if not more, but that will depend on our agreement. And for my hourly clients, we have to have a discussion as to whether they want to do it themselves or they want me to help them with it. But the reason it's so important is this. If you have a trust that's not funded, then your trust doesn't actually work. It fails. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a piece of paper. It has no holding, no standing. It's not effective. So it's very important that your trust is funded. There are different items you can use to fund your trust with, but what you really need to know is that anything that your trust holds title to is no longer going to count for your probate total. So the whole game of trusts is first, you want to avoid probate. Second, you want to make sure that if you have beneficiaries that can't have an outright distribution immediately, that your trust can dictate what happens with that gift. So first, what does funding mean? Funding means changing title to the trust. So for example, if you own real estate, you have a home, okay, and you're going to fund your trust with your home, which is the most common thing that people are doing. First, if you already own your home, it's probably in your name and whoever else owns it with you, a spouse or someone else. What you'll need to do is change the name with the county recording office to be owned by your trust. And you do that with a couple of different documents. One with a deed, and two, in California at least, you need to have a separate document that is given to you by each county, and it's a change of ownership form. Or change of ownership report is what some of them call it. Those two documents together, along with their fees, should be enough to change title to your trust. Now, sometimes they want proof that you actually have a trust, and you could submit your certificate of trust to them with that. So here is the next step. How do you do it? I'm not going to go into extreme detail on exactly how to fill out your form, but what you need to know is that your trust has a specific name, and when you enter that name, it has to be identical to what your trust says it is. And your trust should have information as to how to actually name something. It'll say, for purposes of this trust, everything should be called the Joe and Jill Schmo Living Trust dated June 6, 1997. And that's how you would name something under the title. So what you could do is you could use a warranty deed, which basically says that you guarantee that any warranties given from one party to the next party are going to remain. There's nothing wrong with the property. You guarantee it, but you're basically transferring it to yourself as trustee of your own trust. So the warranty deed isn't necessary. Although if you're not going to use a deed of trust, I recommend rather using a warranty deed than a quitclaim deed. And if you have questions about the difference between these deeds, go ahead and contact me and we can have a discussion about it. But first you'll need to know what you have and what you want to transfer. So yes, you fill out your deed and then you have it notarized. Then you have your other report that the county requires, and then you submit them to the county recorder's office with your fee. Some county recorders allow you to do this online, and some of them prefer and require that you do it in person. So it's going to depend on your county, and you need to look up the rules where you live. And as always, this is California related only. Every state has their own requirements. I live in California and practice in California, so anything that I'm talking about is going to be referring to California only. Now, let's say you want to transfer something else into your trust to fund it. You can transfer your life insurance by naming your trust as the first beneficiary, but there are all sorts of nuances with everything that you transfer in. So, for example, for life insurance, you want to make sure your trust is not the only beneficiary, because let's say your trust fails for some other reason or your trust is destroyed, then what's going to happen with your life insurance? You need to have a backup. So there's different caveats for each item, but some common items that people fund their trust with are homes, other land style real estate, life insurance funds, 529 plans, if you have money market accounts, anything with title. I mean, most people don't transfer their vehicles into their trust unless they have very high value vehicles or a collection of vehicles. You can transfer your high dollar savings accounts into your trust, and you should if it's going to put you into probate, or there are other options. Speak to your estate planning attorney. It's really going to depend on your situation. But for the purposes of this video, funding your trust means changing title from something that you own into the trust name. And once you've done that, then your trust is now valid as long as you still own that property upon your death. So if you are only funding it with your home and you sell the home and you buy a new home, you need to have the new home owned by your trust and not in your name. And you can do that immediately when you buy it instead of after and doing the whole transfer again. That's not necessary. But the point is, if you sell the property that's in your trust, you need to make sure you put new property in your trust or your trust will fail. If you have any questions, contact me on my website, www.amandarocalaw.com, on social media @AmandaRochaLaw, or comment down below if this platform allows you to do so. Thank you.